What a time it has been for 1UP Racing as a whole, but we are back racing once again with the 1UP Nitro National Series for race number 14 of the season, and we are at the beautiful Hillside Speedway out in Massachusetts. This beautiful mile oval has seen some great racing over the years across multiple different series, and today it's the Nitro National Series turn for 80 laps around this high-banked, high-speed, high-degradation oval. It's going to provide a lot of fun for everybody involved, and we hope you'll enjoy it as well. And alongside me to bring you the action once again is Duke Ansack for this race. And honestly, there's no real better place to come back to for the first race back in a while than a place like this, where there's so much that can happen. A lot of tire fall off, a lot of high speed action, maybe even some 3-wide business if we're lucky. A lot is possible here at Hillside.
Yeah, this is pretty much the ultimate racetrack for having a really awesome race from all fronts, really, because you look at the race and you say that you've got like side by side racing action on the track is the best thing, or having great pit road strategy, or tire fall off, or that kind of thing is what makes the race really good. And here you've got all of that. You know, you've got the perfect combination of pretty much everything going on. It's a well-rounded race. The crews are going to be involved today. The drivers are going to have their work cut out for them with some of the tire degradation we see here. This track grinds tires away. And it is going to be tough for all these drivers coming to the end of the tire run right before a pit stop. And that's going to open up strategies for a lot of people. So it really is going to be a fascinating day. It's going to be interesting to watch how everybody handles that. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what all these drivers can do. And after a little bit of a break here, you know, let's see who's rusty. Let's see who has stayed on their game. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and we got to keep our eye out as well for the cliff. When these tires reach their absolute limit, they hit that cliff, and cars will lose several positions, if not tens of positions, before they finally decide to peel off the pit road. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out for as well over the course of these 80 miles here at Hillside. As we can now look at the starting lineup for today's action here at Hillside. Cody Goforth, after Zachary DeLello, his teammate, stole the show in Indianapolis last time. This time he steps out of his teammate's shadow and he takes pole position for Hillside by a decent margin over second place Kanalka, who gets their best starting spot of their career in second. Joshua Michaels has a good string of races coming up. He's third. Ryan Reed, making his Nitro National debut in this race, starts fourth for Jeff Bolton Racing, and Robert Weaver completes the top five, and he really needs a good run after several mediocre performances at best. But we've got a lot of big stories to keep our eye on, namely that regular season championship battle. Ryan Griffin and Alex Vergepperub entered this race pretty close. Right now, they line up on row 8 together. So it's going to be very interesting to see what these two can do, because both are quite good here.
Yeah, that's a 12-point gap between the two of them, and they're both starting midfield, as you said, so that's a lot of area not only to improve your position, but it's also a lot of area to lose position in this race. So this could be a big moment, a big swing in momentum, and a big change in the points in this race for Ryan Griffin or for Alex Vergepperub. Either of them could take a hefty lead right here, and it's all going to depend on their strategy, how well they're able to handle those tires, and if they can make it all the way to the end without getting caught up in somebody else's trouble. So, yeah, this is going to be a great race here today. I'm really looking forward to watching what these drivers can do. Let's get to it.
So with that being said, we have 41 drivers ready to take the green flag at Hillside, and we are ready to bring you the action for 80 laps. This is the 1UP Nitro National Series, race number 14, and the green flag is mere moments away from falling on the field to get racing underway again. As the field rolls through turn 4, the pace car getting ready to pull on the pit road. As the field hits the guide car restart zone, it's Goforth and Kanalka on the front row. The green flag is out, and for 80 laps, we're underway. Goforth off to a good start. He brings the inside line with him. That's Michaels and Weaver, and he's dragging along to the top positions as they clear off of turn 2. Goforth with the lead.
Yeah, and this banked back straightaway is incredible for these drivers. It makes it so you slam into this next corner. You really do, and you come all the way around. You can see the sheer speed that these cars have around this highly banked racetrack all the way around, sliding all the way through the corner. You can tell how it just grinds tires away here. But yeah, the 01 of Cody Goforth has gotten out front, and it's single file behind, but none of them are letting him drive away, especially not this 18 car. Joshua Michaels is right on his bumper.
Yeah, and Michaels, we already know his fate. He's going Superstar Racing next year, but he would love to wrap up his tenure in the Nitro National Series with a championship. And he's on pace to score some good points here today, but he'd love a win to add to the one he already has this season. But Goforth continues to lead. We're completing lap number 3, and the gap between Goforth and Michaels just over a tenth of a second. Looking now at Robert Weaver. He started 4th, going further back now. And this is the first side-by-side battle of the race right here, just outside the top 10. This is for 12th between Grant and Keon Daly.
There are a bunch of cars right next to each other right here. This is possibly a dangerous situation for all of these drivers. Crash is very possible when you've got this many cars, such a small space, and such a tight racetrack right here. And you just have to hope that everybody can keep it together, kind of work this out a little bit. You see a lot of drivers here. It's starting to single file out a little bit. Great job from all of them. And here's Joshua Michaels, who's lost a little bit of ground to the leader, and we've got to move for 3rd.
That is Weaver alongside Kanalka. Robert Weaver's had a bit of a rough season outside Daytona, where he dominated that race to finish in the top 10. He's had a very rough go of it, and I'm sure he'd love to right the ship here at Hillside before they get back to Daytona later this season. But right now, there's Henry Thomas giving him a push in the 12 car. Thomas started 9th. He's already in the first 6 laps, moved up 4 spots. So that 12 car could be one to watch out for, and he almost gets into the back of the 66.
Yeah, this is intense racing right here. Look at these 3 cars, the 12, the 66, and the 33, all right up on each other for a moment there. They were just almost touching through the corners. And that's a really tough position for the car in the middle there to be in. You know, you have no air on that car, the front or the back. Meanwhile, for the lead, we've got the 18 right up on the bumper of the 01, trying to get him loose, trying to go through the corner and maybe get a run down the back. Not going to happen this time. Joshua Michaels is really fast right now.
Can Cody Goforth hold him off this entire race? That's the big question. But Goforth's doing a solid job. He's led more laps today than he has in the whole season up to this point, I believe. He's been consistent, has Cody Goforth, but nowhere near as flashy as his teammate Zachary DeLello. But Goforth's the one out front right now. He's got about a quarter-second lead over Michaels, and they're plenty clear of the battle for 3rd. So right now it's just them with each other. Let's see what shapes out here over the next 70 laps.
Yeah, so this battle for the lead has kind of been coming and going, if you will. You know, we've got Joshua Michaels, who will close up in on that 01 car, heat up his tires a little bit, and then he won't have the momentum in the right place to make the move. And then Cody Goforth is able to drive away a little bit after that, and it kind of just keeps happening. So here you see the 18 closing back in on him. He's going to run a little bit lower than the 01, get some nose on that front splitter, to put some downforce on the front of that car, help him through the corner. Now he's going to slide up the track. He's going to lose that, and then he's going to lose all that time that he just gained. You know, it's just so precise you have to be around here to beat a car that's going about the same speed as you, especially when you're trying to pass for the lead. It is just tough. The competition in this series is extremely high, as everybody knows, so Joshua Michaels trying to chase down the leader here, really working hard. And he has not let him go away, but he's just hanging right now. He's just lurking.
And notice that they're not quite running the very bottom of the racetrack. They're running right above that seam in the middle of the corners, right in that second groove. I think that's to do with maintaining speed, because if you go all the way down to that bottom, you have to scrub off more speed to maintain that line. I think these guys are just following the path of least resistance as it stands right now. Although, with these two battling for the lead as they have, Kanalka's starting to close the gap on Michaels a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You carry a little bit more momentum around that higher lane because you're able to get in the throttle faster. And typically at a track where you're running higher up to carry momentum, you'll see drivers all the way up out by the wall. But here you really don't need to be that high because you can kind of carry a lot of throttle through the corner if you're that low. It's yeah, the fastest way around the track, just right there in the center of the corner. Here's the 38 car, who's running in 9th right now. He's sitting in between a couple of race cars right here, kind of all by himself. What's the story on him?
Yeah, Ryan Reed, this is his one-up debut in this 38 car, replacing Jack Boswell at Jeff Bolton Racing. And Ryan Reed, he started 4th. He's doing a very nice job. He fell back a few positions, but he's hanging on to a spot in the top 10. He's running 9th, doing a pretty solid job for a guy who's never been in these race cars before. And Felix Anderson right behind him, filling in his own Motor Dash Racing 23 car. I'm sure he'd love it to be under better circumstances, but he too is running solidly in the top 10, just ahead of Nicky Martinez. And then how about Ryan Arnold in his 10 car? He's won here before. In fact, he won this race a couple of years back, and now he's proving that was not a fluke. He's running very solidly in the 8th position. Ryan Arnold, oftentimes in the shadow of his teammates Goforth and DeLello, but here he's doing a very nice job.
Yeah, the same speed and power underneath that car, and today he's really showing it, having a great job. And to comment on Ryan Reed, a fantastic qualifying result for the one-up debut. Started in 4th and then lost a little bit on that start, but he wasn't the only one. Robert Weaver has kept his position, but Henry Thomas really drove up through there, but a lot of the drivers that started up front with him lost their positions right there at the start, so it was just a shuffle with the lanes, and he's holding on in 9th, and he's doing a really great job, so we'll see how this race plays out for him. Meanwhile, Joshua Michaels is all the way low, and he has gotten right up next to Cody Goforth. At least he did for a second. He had to let off the throttle, and he's lost a ton of momentum, but boy, that was his best shot at trying to take the lead. I wonder if he learned anything maybe for the next chance he gets, and thank goodness he looks like he's going to get another chance, because he almost lost it driving underneath Cody Goforth right there, and the 7 car almost passed him as well. That was an intense moment for Joshua Michaels, and very well done to salvage that 2nd place running position out of that. Wow.
Yeah, that was a tight exit for the 18, and that's why he lost all that momentum he had earlier when he made that move. He was trying to get a move made on the 01, just nothing doing there. And when you have that tight of an exit, you really can't swing out to the wall like you really want to, and that just costs you a lot of time. But we have Cody Goforth. He's led all 22 laps so far. This is a big day for him if he can get that win to boost himself up the order a little bit. He's currently, I believe, 8th, 9th in points. And Goforth's doing a good job. As things run right now, he should be able to jump up into at least 6, maybe even the top 5.
Yeah, really great day. I mean, and running up front always is a great feeling, because it really just helps everything. Winning solves all, as some have said before me. So, it's really a great thing to be running up front, and it's somewhere that probably everybody would like to stay, and we'll see through this race. We're already 25 laps in, and we got some issues here for the 24 car, a little bit off the pace.
Yeah, I think Yami Suzuki is the first driver to hit the cliff on their tires, but this is a bit early for them to even get to that point. We're only 26 laps into this race, but they're already 4 seconds off their fastest lap time. And they're in danger of falling a lap down here as Yami Suzuki, so a lot of work to do. And yeah, here comes Suzuki into the pit lane. This is a very dangerous, sharp pit entry, but if you can make time there, it's worth a lot to get in as the leaders come up to lap the 24 in the pit lane.
Yeah, no, that's, I wonder if maybe Suzuki had an issue earlier in the race where there was a long slide or something that could have caused more of an advanced speed on that tire degradation that we've seen here at this track. Of course, everybody's going to eventually hit that cliff, but it just depends on how well you've taken care of your tires throughout the run. But yeah, this track is just extremely unique in that way. And now we saw Joshua Michaels. I saw him kind of look low, but he just still has not been able to find a way around that 01. And since the last time he really got next to him, and not the time that he slid, but the time that he really had a shot, he hasn't gotten super close to that 01 car again. So I'm not sure Maybe this 18 car has decided he's just going to save, try to beat him in the pit lane, and possibly get ahead there. It might not be such a bad idea to just save the tires right now, and continue rolling. Here's Yami Suzuki as well coming out of the pits, and this car is flying.
Yeah, this car is now 2 laps down, but it is the fastest car on the racetrack by quite a margin. It's at least 2.5 seconds faster than anyone else. You can see the 24 roaring through by the start-finish line, catching up to the back of the field, and it wouldn't surprise me if this 24 got both of its laps back in the hard way.
Yeah, so the trouble is that you really only want to have to pit once in this race. So I don't know. Maybe that 24 could do it, but also you're looking at the time that it took that car to hit that cliff and lose all that ground. It might have just been a little bit too early for that pit stop, for that strategy to work out. I'm not sure. Of course, they were forced into that pit stop. However, I'm not sure if it's going to work out. We'll see that 24 car before long, though, going by these leaders, I'm sure, whether it's because they're pitting or because they're just running at normal pace for their amount of tires on their, or amount of laps on their tires. We'll see that 24 again. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely, but right now the battle for the lead is pretty much stabilized between Goforth and Michaels, about 0.2 of a second, a tenth and a half either way. Both these guys are racing each other, and look at this 24. Wow. We were checking in on his progress, and look at how he's flying past every car he comes across. The only worry he's got right now is if he gets held up by these guys and gets into a crash with any of them.
Yeah, he's really only using that bottom half of the racetrack. That's all he has to use, and all he can use, because he's just driving by cars. You can see it's like they're standing still, but that's all just fresh tires at this track. It's kind of, oh, wow, some contact going into the corner there. The closing rate is extreme. When you have a situation like this, one car on fresh tires and everybody else on older tires, and you can see, yeah, they just have to get out of the way. The spotters have got to be on their game watching this 24 car move through the field, because you can't be making moves like Aiden Clare just did all the way to the bottom. It's going to block the 24. Now the 00 and the 8 are side by side almost. 24 is going to go low and get by this time, but wow, that's dangerous stuff right there.
Meanwhile, back at the lead, we've got a lead change, and it's Joshua Michaels to the lead. I think Cody Goforth hits a cliff on his tires, too, because we're making our way up through the field to try and find Cody Goforth, and he's fallen all the way back to the 10th position as Cody Goforth. He has hit the cliff on those tires. He has, in 2 laps, has fallen from the lead of this race all the way back to 10th. Let's see what the gap is at the line for this Plagued 01 car. He lost 5 seconds in the span of a lap and a half. That car needs to be in the pit soon.
Yeah, I really think that he should have made his pit stop last time, but I'm not sure why he didn't. We'll see this time. Is he going to drop down?
I don't know. I think he's just trying to get... He might think there's something mechanically wrong with that car, and he's trying to feel it out. But he needs to be in the pit soon, because look at the time he's losing. He's falling farther and farther behind. He just lost 2 seconds on 1 lap alone. Now Joshua Michaels has a gigantic lead over Kanauka. Braden Vargas looks like he's hit the cliff on his tires as well. A lot of cars falling victim to high tire degradation, and these guys have got to be thinking about making this pit stop, especially now that we're almost at halfway.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely better to make that pit stop before you hit the cliff like the 01. So now...
But it's so unpredictable. When you hit that cliff, you don't know until you've already hit it.
Yeah, I think that at lap 40, you're going to be halfway. You obviously haven't made it there yet. I think that everybody really needs to be pitting on lap 40. But that's not what the strategy is going to be, I'm sure. However, that's what I would do, is pit on lap 40 right here. And now the 01, regardless of if he wanted to make a pit stop or not, he's going to have to wait a couple laps. Look at all these cars that are about to go low past
There's his teammate, Corey Hayes, getting past. There's Delello, his other teammate, about to make the move. Look at all these cars. He's bottling up in the process.
Yeah, this is a really bad situation, and there's one of our points contenders right now. Alex Regeparub is stuck behind him without a chance to get by.
I think his first opportunity is when when the 00 passes him. Once the 00 gets by, he's got to find his way to the bottom, and he's got to make that stop as soon as humanly possible.
Okay, yeah, the 25 may have just hit the cliff in front of the 91.
Yeah, he's got to think about coming in imminently, and I think No, Cody Goforth.
Wow.
This is a bold call, but he's got to realize he's losing seconds per
Yeah, and now
lap.
Alex just moved him out of the way.
Yeah,
People are getting impatient. He has got to hit the pit lane. We got another one in the pits. Who is it?
I think that was the 11 of Varga. Yeah, there he is. He's
Yeah.
just exiting right now.
All right, well, keep an eye on these drivers that are pitting now because I believe you can make it to the end of this race if you pit right now. So I think that the people who are pitting first, really, that's probably the best strategy in this race. And if I were Joshua Michaels, I would try to cover
Yep,
that.
here's Goforth in the pits right now.
All right, at long last for Cody Goforth. Finally,
And it's a
makes
long
it into-
trip down the pit lane because he's pit stall number 1, remember. He won the pole.
Yeah, the worst part about pitting here is that you're going to lose a couple laps. So you go into the danger zone of a caution coming out if you do pit. That's why all of these people are encouraged to stay out for longer, because if you do make that pit stop and a caution comes out without all the leaders pitting, you might be in big trouble. So right now, Cody Goforth obviously was in big trouble regardless, so he has got to come down there and get those tires. But I think that this 18 needs to start matching strategies. I just don't think that waiting much longer is that wise an option.
Yeah, but I think he's waiting for some other cars to make the strategy call for him. Keon Daly pits. Logan Jones, we saw in the 94, was coming in. And Nicky Martinez, a lot of his Kings Motorsports teammates are coming in to try and head it off. It's going to be interesting to see. Here's Goforth back on the track. He's 2 laps down, but he is by far the fastest car on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. He lost so much time before he made his pit stop. So this is going to be tough for him. But if he has enough laps on Joshua Michaels, he might have the chance.
Here comes into the pit lane. Owen Anderson into the pit wall, and caution's going to come out. That is really going to hurt Cody Goforth. I think he's just been trapped a lap down.
Wow, that was a scary accident that we just had straight into the pit wall. You mentioned how difficult it is to get on this pit lane, but here, we'll see what happens with the lappers. This is going to be very fascinating.
Unfortunately, though, this is not the first time we've seen this kind of incident happen. We've seen this happen before at Hillside when cars just commit to that pit entry way too late and they just nose it into those barrels. Thank goodness those barrels are there for safety reasons. To prevent injuries in accidents like that. But the caution flag flies for the first time on lap 47, and now all the leaders are going to get their pit stop basically for free.
Yeah, that's a huge deal for all of these leaders, and you can see Keon Daly is going to get a lap back. Not sure how far down Keon Daly is. But all of those drivers that are going to go by the leaders, they're going to get 1 lap back. The question is, how many laps down were they? Not totally sure about that.
I think Goforth's going to get 1 back here, but he was 2 laps down.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to hurt his chances in this race. But that's just part of the risk of pitting early, and that's probably why Michael stayed out as long as he did. He's seen races before here where the strategy goes all wrong. So at this point, he just is trying to hang on. But we're going to get you a replay of what happened to Felix Anderson to bring out caution for the first time here at Hillside. A violent accident for car number 23. Scary, scary stuff here at this very fast oval. Going to get you a replay now. So it looks like Anderson was going to commit to pit lane. I don't know if he washed up the racetrack a little bit, but...
track. Oh, yeah. He committed so late. He slid.
Oh, he was sliding a lot. You see the difference there. Ryan Arnold realized he was not going to make the pit entry, so he bailed out. He went back onto the racetrack. It probably cost him about 5 or 6 spots to do that, but man, that's just a lot to handle. As we're going to get you a restart here fairly soon, but man, now we've got a whole new cast of characters up front. Henry Thomas now running in the 2nd position behind Joshua Michaels.
Yep, that's true, and we've got a bunch of lappers underneath on that inside lane, but they are on slightly older tires than all the leaders, so there's a chance they won't cause much issue. But there goes the pace car off the track, and the green flag is in the air at lap 52 of 80 here at Hillside.
Yep, and looks like the 2 Kings Motorsports teammates of Daly and Martinez, they're going to try and fight past their other teammate, Michaels. So it looks like Goforth is 1 lap down. He's trying to get his other lap back, but this is going to be an uphill battle for Cody Goforth to try and get that lap back, because now look at all the traffic he's got to make his way through. And there's that 24. There's another car who was bit by that caution. Didn't get their laps back. He's still 1 lap down.
Yeah, so this is a total mess right now. Look at this. We've got 3 wide action right now.
Oh, and it looks like Grant let off a little bit. Oh, and Ryan Griffin on the apron. But it looks like he saves it.
And that allows Alex Frechette-Barube to go by, so that they were kind of hanging with each other all day so far. And now the 3 car has gained a little bit of an advantage. So that's a lot of pressure on both of those drivers to try their best to gain points on each other and try to win that regular season title. Meanwhile, Joshua Michaels has a bit of an advantage over everybody else right now. The 12 car of Henry Thomas is in 2nd place.
Yeah, but he's stuck behind a lap car, too.
Yeah, he's got that lapper between them. So this will be interesting to see if the 18 can get by the 52 of Keon Daly, putting 2 lap cars between himself and 2nd place. That would really be a big help to him here on lap 55.
Yeah, but remember, that's his teammate up ahead of him, so I don't know if he's going to let the 52 stay up there, try and see if they can get another quick yellow. Because honestly, Braden Varga in the 11 is doing a nice job holding back Henry Thomas already. So Michaels... Oh, and we got another crash, and it's Ricky Freeman Jr. Ironhouse involved, Stevenson involved. A lot of cars in this crash.
This is about a 6-car accident right here, and we got more. The 31 is involved as well.
Matt Johnson in the 97 also involved in it, making his series debut. Yeah, so it looks like it starts right about... Oh, yeah, Freeman got hooked and got into the side of Ironhouse there, and then it's just...
Yeah, he was on the brakes, and he just couldn't stop sliding. Too much momentum up into the corner and caught all these other cars and put him... I mean, really, really tough situation there.
Yeah, Skylar Taylor making their debut in one-up competition, also involved in this crash. A lot of cars wiped out here at Hillside because of this incident here. As you see Ricky Freeman Jr., he's beached it on the banking. So here is where it starts. Oh, I think Freeman gets into the side of Logan Williams, and that's where he just swerves down the track into Ironhouse, and then a huge stack up from here.
Wow. Yeah, it's a self-cleaning track, a little bit like Dover, Delaware, where it's just all that banking everywhere. So all of the accident slides down the track. So, I mean, you can't really go anywhere to avoid the accident because of the fact that you're going low because everybody's sliding up. They hit the wall, come straight back down. It's extremely unpredictable and difficult to tell what's going on. So that's just what causes a lot of cars to be involved in that kind of thing. But Keon Daly will be getting his lap back, and here comes that 01 to catch up to our lappers, and there sure are a lot of them.
Yeah, there are, because Suzuki's still trapped a lap down. Nicky Martinez not as lucky as her teammate. Braden Varga stuck a lap down. Of course, Cody Goforth is as well. And we're going to have a 20-lap shoot. Actually, Keon Daly might actually still be stuck a lap down. He got one of them back, but he might still be trapped a lap down at this rate, because you see him taking his place in the lap down lane. Man, the Kings Motorsports is having a great day with Joshua Michaels, but not so much with the other 2 cars.
Yeah, that's odd about Keon Daly, but I guess it depends on where the pace car picks everybody up. So, and this is also odd because Cody Goforth is lined up in the outside. So I'm not sure about this lineup here, but we're coming to the restart and the lights are still off. So regardless of that lineup, we are going to go green here at Hillside on lap 60. Coming to lap 61 right here, and Joshua Michaels leads the way.
20 laps to decide the outcome here at Hillside. Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again. Michaels powers off with the lead. Can Thomas clear the 11 quickly? Looks like no. Varga
has a chance to get by, though. Still in the just side by side, not cleared by the 11. So the 12 has this chance way up on the outside, almost in the dirty part of the track.
I think now he's clear. Now he's clear of Varga. So Thomas, I think this is going to come down to Thomas versus Michaels for the win, because look at all the rest of the leaders are backed up behind all of this lap traffic here.
Yeah, this is chaos back here. This is what the kind of thing that will cause another accident in this race, and we've seen it twice now already with the crashes. So yeah, definitely big positive for the 12 car to get past those lappers, and that 24 is absolutely flying right now. So this is 24 could cause a little bit of situation here for the leaders, but right now it is the 18 versus the 12 for the win here at Hillside.
We've now got 17 laps to go here from Hillside, and they will go by in a big hurry. So Henry Thomas needs to get his foot down if he's going to have any hope. Here's the battle for third back here. Audrey Anzac and Robert Weaver. Kanauka battling Ryan Arnold for fifth. And there's Ryan Reed back there, still doing strong in that 38 right now, battling for a spot in the top 10.
Yeah, Ryan Reed is just hanging tough in there. Sitting in 8th place right now and having just a solid day with all the chaos around, making it the effort worth it, and hopefully gets the result out of it as well. We're coming to the the kind of final part of this race, and I'll tell you what, this 12 car, I wasn't sure what I was expecting. We hadn't seen a lot out of this 12 car today, but he is not letting Joshua Michaels go by any means, just hanging right there behind. So if he can figure something out just to get a little bit more speed out of that car, he could be right up behind Joshua Michaels and possibly challenge for the win.
Yeah, Thomas doing everything he can to get by Michaels. We've got 14 laps to go now in this race. Just 14 short laps to get the job done. And what Thomas needs to do, he's got to play two battles here. He's got to track down the 18, but he's also got to try and keep the 24 behind him, because you're right, that 24 is very fast right now.
You're right, and it's that's going to be a fascinating part of this battle, is that 24 getting the opportunity possibly to go through these two cars and pass them. Will that happen? How quickly will it happen? And who is it going to benefit? Those are the questions I'm asking. I'm not sure at this rate, though, if the 24 can get there and also pass them. We'll just have to see what happens. So right now, the 12 has got to start figuring something out. You want to go maybe a little bit lower on the track. Try to push that car more to its limits. Use up a little bit more tire here if you can. Just to try to close the gap on the 18 so that you can be there in the closing laps to at least give yourself a chance. Right now, that 12 is too far back to really have any realistic chance of winning this race. He needs to get closer in the coming 5 to 7 laps if he wants to have a shot at it.
One more thing they got to keep an eye on. There's a very slow car up ahead of them. Samet Oskin in the 73 was involved in that crash, and he is way off the pace. That's Genesis Engineering Dodge. He could very well fall a lap down before this race is over. And who does he hold up more? Does he hold up the 18 or the 12 more? And that could also decide the outcome of this race.
Yeah, it certainly could. And right now, it's just looking like this 12. He's kind of coming and going a little bit like we saw earlier, but he isn't getting all the way up to the bumper of that 18 car. He's not able to go any lower through the corner. I think that's possibly what could help him here, because he's not getting any downforce on that nose. You need to have a little bit of air on that left headlight area of the front of your car. So we'll see. You can watch as they go through the corner. This is where the downforce counts. The air pushing your car down into the track. It's going to help your grip. It's going to help your turning radius. And you're going to be able to carry more momentum, and he just needs to get slightly lower of that 18 to get out of his wake so that he's got some clean, fresh air pushing down on that vehicle. And right now, he's just not able to do any better than Joshua Michaels is. Joshua Michaels is just running so low around there that it's just not – there's no chance for the 12. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, the 72 could cause a big problem here, running the same lane as both these drivers. And possibly Joshua Michaels is going to have to take some evasive action very quickly to get by and hold the lead. We'll see what happens. It's going to come in about two laps, maybe less.
Will the 73 hold up these guys just that little bit to allow Thomas that little bit of a chance to get the win? But we're coming to 5 laps to go, and there's a lot still to be answered. Can Thomas get his first career win in the Nitro National Series? Will Joshua Michaels hold him off to get his second win of the season? And his... There's so much to be asked, so much to be answered, but we're down into the final 5 laps, and they are closing in on Oskin in a hurry.
Yeah, and the rest of the field right now, not concerned with them. They are 6, almost 7 seconds back. These two have absolutely checked out. Now they're approaching Oskin the lapper, so we'll see what happens. The 18 is looking for a way. The 12 has gone high through that corner, possibly to gain some momentum as the 18 has to go low to make the pass.
Yep, will Thomas capitalize on this move? Michaels swoops past the 73. Thomas catches him in a bad place. I think that could have just decided it right there with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, that did not go well for the 12 car at all. And now he's got the pressure of the 24 right on him on his bumper right there. Oh, but the 24 has to use a little bit less of the track out of the corner. So now they're all 3 of them are very spread out at this point. This is as far back as the 12 has been in the entire run. And yeah, he's going to need a lot of help to be able to do it in such a short amount of time. The laps have wound down quite quickly, and we've already got the white flag for the 18 car.
Coming to the white flag this time, it looks like it's going to be Joshua Michaels' race, as Alex Vergette has lost the engine in that 3 car. He's coasting it to the pit lane, but the white flag flies for Joshua Michaels. We've got 1 lap to go. We got to watch out for any oil laid down by that 3 car. Will it be any concern of the leaders? I don't know. Aiden clears off the pace with damage. Coming for 3 and 4. For the final time, Henry Thomas is going to come up just a little bit short to Joshua Michaels, who gets his 2nd win of the season. He does it at Hillside. A great drive from Joshua Michaels, capitalizing on the misfortune of others to get his 2nd win of the season. A great drive by Joshua Michaels to get this win, because he really needed one to get back into the mix. Henry Thomas gets his best result of the season, but comes up half a second short. Then you have to go all the way back 8 seconds to find Robert Weaver, who comes home 3rd for his best finish of the season so far. Audrey Ansack 4th, and Kanalka completes the top 5 ahead of Ryan Reed, making a spectacular debut to come home in 6th place. And we got a spin for Cody Goforth further back. Oh, and he's got plowed into by the 5. Just the wrong way to end a disastrous race that could have gone so differently for Cody Goforth. He will finish 31st today.
Yeah, that's adding injury to insults there, I guess, for Cody Goforth. But yeah, that was the very end of that race for the 3 car. And a great job from all these leaders. But the big drama, I think, that possibly comes out of that race is Alex Vergette, who was running a solid race, was going to keep within the points battle with Ryan Griffin, who was having an equal struggle today to get out of the mid-pack, blows a motor right at the end of the race, and it's going to lose a ton of points to Ryan Griffin. So coming in the close of this regular season, that is a huge blow for them. But I'll tell you what, the 18 car of Joshua Michaels stayed with Cody Goforth for forever, as long as that car was ahead. And then as soon as Cody Goforth had his issues in this race, the 18 took the lead and never looked back. I mean, was untouchable. The 12 car was able to keep up at the end, but just barely. So a great job from him. That entire team, they played it perfect. If they had gone through with the strategy I was proposing, they would have been wrong. So good on them.
Absolutely.
Great race.
So from Duke Ansack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Hillside Speedway. Congratulations to Joshua Michaels. He comes out on top today. We'll see you again next week at New Jersey Motorsports Park.